Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Holy moly, Sam Bankman-Fried getting carted off to jail. You know, we broke it first last night before last, about the bail being denied. Now we got a little bit of video. We'll share what you guys about to do, being carted off. You know, hugging the family, hugging the mom and dad, and bail being denied and being hauled off to a jail in the Bahamas at the correctional facilities is just not great. Yeah, that is the word on the street. Very, very interesting. So, political campaigns being turned in. Yeah, right. They're going to turn in these political. Yeah, well, you know, if these politicians do return the money, you know, it'll be part of, you know, the advertising of how good of a person that people are that got this donation money. We'll see. We got the freaking press secretary for the current administration referring to some kind of Hatch Act, so they can't respond or comment on whether or not these political donations will be returned. That is funny. We'll share the video of that. It is freaking interesting times. Very, very interesting time. Jimmy K. Fallon has some tweeted out some info. You're gonna want to hear what he has to say about the whole SEC and Sam Bankman-Fried case. And I personally think the charade that took place by the U.S. Attorney General for the Southern District of New York, to me, just a big charade. We'll let you decide. I'll share that video. Oh my gosh, And then Stuart Alderowdy in his tweet lays out the reality of the SEC versus Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. You are not going to want to miss that. So listen, guys, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. So let's do it. Look, CoinGecko.com, it's the monster app. You're going to want to get it for sure. It is the monster app on all things crypto and digital assets. Screw coin market cap is what I say. So look, let me refresh this real quick. CoinGecko.com, download the app. We love it here in the Crypto Siege's home. 916 billion is the total cryptocurrency market cap. The Bitcoin dominance is 37.9%. And as we say in this channel, yeah, that's not a great number at all if you're looking forward to an alt season. Bitcoin is currently trading at $18,049. Shout out to the swing traders. They made a little bit of money in the last 7 days. Ethereum is at $1,337. And XRP is trading at 39 cents. Not really spectacular on a 7-day to report in terms of any kind of gains in the digital asset space on 7-day. There's a couple of coins that I don't know anything about, so I won't kind of put anything up on those. But look, the market, guys, is doing what the market does. In the end, it is what it is. The market is just doing what the market does. By the way, the SEC is proud to report that they paid more than $20 million to a whistleblower. Now understand, the same whistleblower that gets the 20 million will have it taken away by the SEC in just a matter of weeks. You can count on it. But the SEC is proud to put it in a press release. The SEC awards more than 20 million to whistleblower. DC, December 12, 2020, the Securities and Exchange Commission today announced an award of more than 20 million to a whistleblower. She's going to need it for her defense. To a whistleblower who provided information and assistance that significantly contributed to a successful enforcement action. The whistleblower provided new information, met with enforcement division staff multiple times, and remained cooperative throughout the investigation. Unbelievable. Yeah, we all saw the tweets. We all saw the pictures of Caroline in New York from the Bahamas. She was in New York just recently. We know it's her. We all suspected that eventually she was going to, I don't know what these kids thought they were doing. I don't know what SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, what did he really think was going to happen to him? Did he think that he was safe because he donated this money to Congress? Oh my gosh. And we're going to talk about the charade that is the New York Attorney General for the Southern District of New York. What a charade that video, that little conference was. What a charade. I mean, are you kidding me? Ugh, what a charade. So let's share Jimmy James K. Fallon's thoughts on the whole SEC thing. Once the criminal case starts, this complaint will sit until the criminal case is over. Once this criminal case starts, this complaint will sit until the criminal case is over. The SEC will be sidelined on this. When the criminal case is done, Bankman-Fried will settle with the SEC and Gensler will get another press conference. The SEC is the least of Sam Bankman-Fried's worries. Now, political donations, what's going to happen to that? Crypto Eddie shared this video. This is very, very interesting. This is from the current administration's press secretary. Using the Hatch Act, it's called, a federal law prohibiting those employed in the executive branch of government from being involved in political campaign activities, using this to avoid answering to the return of Sam Bankman-Fried donations.
Will the president return that donation? Does he call on all politicians who got campaign donations that may have come from customer money to return those funds?
Look, I am covered here by the Hatch Act, limited on what I can say, and anything that's connected to political contributions from here, I would have to refer you to the DNC.
I'm asking the president's opinion, though. Does he want those people who...
No, you asked me two questions. You asked me about will he return the donations, and then you asked me about his opinion. I'm answering the first part, which is I'm covered by the Hatch Act from here. I am limited on what I can say, and I just can't talk to political contributions or anything related to that. I cannot speak about it from here.
And then his opinion, though?
I just cannot speak to this from here. Even his opinion, even his thoughts about...
Horrible, disgusting, horrible. This is shameful. Shameful, because we all know the current administration was all up Sam Bankman-Fried behind. Horrible. Well, first you asked me two things. But first you asked me about his opinion, and then you asked whether or not donation. But now I can't even speak on his opinion either, because it's the Hatch Act, and shame. They all need to go down that shame aisle, take that walk of shame. Oh my gosh. Sad. This is why most nations, other nations, laugh at the United States because of things like this. It's just unfreaking believable.
The contributions, donations, I cannot speak about that from here.
And then are you covered by the Hatch Act?
I am covered by the Hatch Act, which I'm happy to say over and over again, because we believe in the rule of law here.
We believe in the rule of law here. We believe in the rule of law here. This is why I say we need a new 1%. This is why it's important to get your money so you can go to where you're treated best, because it ain't. It is not. It ain't. It is not here. And I'm going to share with you why it is not here for the majority of the masses. Stuart Al-Rowdy, the general counsel of Ripple, is going to share with you exactly why. I'm going to share that with you guys at the end. So stay tuned for that. I'm telling you, go to where your assets are treated best. Now we're going to listen to this sham, in my opinion. It's just a sham of a press conference meeting thing from the Attorney General from the Southern District of New York. You just got to pay attention to what this dude is really saying. Let me play it from the beginning.
If we can jump for just a moment, the Southern District of New York is holding a news conference right now, I believe outlining some of their charges. Let's take a listen in.
Of the past month, the dedicated prosecutors of this office and our partners at the FBI, SEC, and CFTC have been working around the clock to figure out what happened and to begin the process of seeking justice.
FBI, the FBI, the SEC, CFTC. Celsius was the largest crypto platform. At one time, it was 30 billion, I believe 20 to 30 billion assets under management, larger than Sam Bankman-Fried. More Bitcoin than in the history of the digital asset space under management. Some people think, well, that means Alex wasn't involved in any fraud because they haven't come after. No. What Alex was exempt from getting any money from the largest asset management company in the history of assets under management. Let me say that again. Just because there aren't any current suits brought against Alex Mashinsky for fraud doesn't mean that there aren't any fraud cases. What is involved in the SEC, in the Celsius case, is money being invested from the largest assets under management firm in the history of this country. That is the difference between the SEC and the CFTC and the FBI of being involved in Sam Bankman-Fried's case and not being currently involved in the Celsius case. That's the difference, but let's take a listen.
This morning, we unsealed an 8-count indictment charging Samuel Bankman-Fried, FTX's founder, with a series of interrelated fraud schemes that contributed to FTX's collapse. I authorized these charges last week, Wednesday. A grand jury here in Manhattan indicted Mr. Bankman-Fried last week, Friday. We obtained a warrant for his arrest, and that arrest was executed yesterday in the Bahamas. Now, let me be clear. My remarks today are going to be limited. That is by design. This investigation is very much ongoing, and it is moving very quickly. But I also want to be clear about something else. While this is our first public announcement, it will not be our last. The indictment has 8 counts, but effectively, it outlines 4 different areas of misconduct. First, we allege that Bankman-Fried defrauded customers of FTX.com, the cryptocurrency exchange that he founded. Second, we allege that he defrauded lenders to Alameda Research, his proprietary hedge fund. Third, we allege that he defrauded investors in FTX. And lastly, we allege that he violated campaign finance laws. Now, let me say a little bit more about what we allege in the indictment. First, we charge that from 2019 until earlier this year, Bankman-Fried and his co-conspirators stole billions of dollars from FTX customers. He used that money for his personal benefit, including to make personal investments and to cover expenses and debts of his hedge fund, Alameda Research. Secondly, and relatedly, we charge that Bankman-Fried lied to Alameda's lenders about the source of the money that he was using to pay those debts. Third, we charge that earlier this year, in the midst of the crypto crisis, Bankman-Fried lied to investors in FTX about the fact that he had sent billions of dollars in FTX customer money to Alameda. And fourth, we charge that Bankman-Fried violated federal campaign finance laws by causing tens of millions of dollars in illegal campaign contributions to be made to candidates and committees associated with both Democrats and Republicans. These contributions were disguised to look like they were coming from wealthy co-conspirators, when in fact, the contributions were funded by Alameda Research with stolen customer money. And all of this dirty money was used in service of Bankman-Fried's desire to buy bipartisan influence and impact the direction of public policy in Washington. To anyone who is watching this or hears about this prosecution, if you believe that you have been a victim of these schemes or you have information about the conduct that we've alleged in our indictment that we've unsealed today, please let us know. To any person, entity, or political campaign that has received stolen customer money, we ask that you work with us to return that money to the innocent victims.
Oh man. It is amazing to think how naive they must think we are. But let me just say what I believe. I believe since the likes of BlackRock, Sequoia Capital, major firms in the space, who is more major to this country than BlackRock? The Federal Reserve turned to them for help constantly. We say on the channel all the time that BlackRock has the Federal Reserve on speed dial, which means they have the current administration on speed dial. This is why the FBI is involved. It may be pennies to BlackRock that they lost 25 million that they invested in FTX. That's not the money is not the issue. The issue is that they were hoodwinked and bamboozled. They were hoodwinked and bamboozled. You got to look at the SEC and the charges that are brought against Sam Bankman-Fried. Who is it for? What is it about? Stuart Alderati lays it all out for you, and it's in my humble opinion, it's shameful. Here's a little quick video I want to share with you of him being SBF being hauled off to jail. And then I'm going to share with you Stuart's tweet, which I believe 10,000%.
Anything you'd like to say?
Anything you like to say? Oh man, I don't see how he's going to make it. He's got he's medically been diagnosed with depression, ADD. I don't see how he's going to make it. I don't see how, and it's not like he doesn't have dirt on Congress people or anybody in the current administration. So I don't think there's going to be any need for some kind of nefarious stuff while he's in prison. I don't believe that. I don't think he has any kind of dirt there. He just hoodwinked tons of people. Hoodwinked tons of people. When you look at the SEC filing here, just look at it real closely. Plaintiffs Security Exchange forced a complaint against Samuel Bankman-Fried, SBF, alleges as follows: from May 2019 through November of 2022, Bankman-Fried engaged in a scheme to defraud equity investors. The SEC is bringing this suit for one reason and one reason only. Stuart Alderati nails it, plain and simple. He nails it. To be clear, the SEC's tag-along complaint against SBF seeks to recover funds for FTX's sophisticated equity investors, not the consumers who have been left holding the bag in bankruptcy court. If I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. We can no longer afford to be naive about the real war that is being fought here. Hashtag Gary Gensler is not your friend was privately selected, not publicly elected, privately selected and ushered to the front of the room to his current administration to do the bidding of the incumbent bank and banking regulators and the political PACs associated with them. Period, point blank, full stop. They don't want you to win. They don't want you to have the ability to choose your own money, store your own money, and spend your own money. They want you to go back and walk back into the liquidity pool so that they can charge you a non-activity fee, charge you 6 to 7% to send money abroad to your loved ones. To legally walk you into their bank, and when you deposit your money, you have legally given up your right to your money. And then for doing that, they're going to pay you 0.05% of your money. That's the fight. It ain't about Lightning Network and the XRPL. That ain't the fight. That's the distraction. The real fight is for you walking away. They want you to walk back into the liquidity pool. They're going to do everything in their power to try to slow down the likes of Ripple, Celsius, 3 Hours Capital, any of those platforms that would dare to give you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% of your money. That's the fight. Arthur Portillo said it really good as well. In other words, the SEC is only seeking to recover the funds of those sophisticated, quote unquote, investors who not only couldn't bother to conduct a serious due diligence on FTX, but also helped Sam Bankman-Fried create the perception amongst retail users that FTX was a solid and legitimate enterprise. VCs are in part responsible for the scale of the damages that have been produced by FBS wrongdoings. They funded FTX and shielded its CEO to the point of awkwardness so they could double down on their customer acquisition strategies and expansion plans. Let them hold the bag. The SEC's tag-along complaint against SBF seeks to recover funds for FTX's sophisticated equity investors, not for the retail investors or consumers who have been left holding the bag in bankruptcy court. Well said and nicely done. Still not already. All right, guys, listen, this wraps up the XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel, getting this channel out to more people hanging out on YouTube who don't know about this new asset class being built right underneath their noses called the digital asset space. And if you enjoyed the hangout, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.